Now we come to the spotlight on Finland, and we're going to start with an overview of the Finnish TV drama landscape. And there is no one else in the world that knows more about this issue. So, of course, we asked our close friend who's been here on stage before to do this for us. So, welcome up on stage, Liselott Forsman from Yle. And I'm going to leave the stage to you, and then I'll join you together with some other people. So,
thank you. And hello to everybody. On the first slide, you see the label Yle, the company I work for, but this presentation is not all about Yle. It's about all sorts of interesting TV drama being produced in Finland. What? Okay, it's better. Yeah. There is a little X, which was my first place to stand. Okay. All right. So, if there is somebody who doesn't know where Finland is, you can see it right there between Sweden and Russia. And this means a lot to our identity between East and West. 3 languages we have, 2 official, Swedish and Finnish, of course, first, and then Swedish, which happens to be my mother tongue. And the history of ours is also very closely connected both to Sweden and Russia. As you can see, since Middle Ages we were part of Sweden, and since 1809 we were an autonomous part of Russia. Our Independence Day, 100 years of independence, is next year, so we are 99 years old now. I wanted to pick 2 interesting things, trivias from Finland, and one is that Finland was the first country in the entire world that got not only equal voting rights for women in 1906, but also the right for women to be members of parliament and to take part in elections. And in the picture up to the right, you see the first members of parliament in the world, as they are pictured in 07 the next year. The bourgeois in black and the social democrats in white, so you can see the left-right division immediately. Finland is very famous for its game industry, at least we Finns think so, and also Helsinki, our capital, was elected the gaming capital in 2013. Last year, Cities Skylines won the Unity Games Award, and for anybody building games, they know what Unity is. And as you can see, the game designer being interviewed here is Karolina Korpi, so females are coming strongly to the very male-dominated game industry. Here are some of the brands, Finnish game brands you might know. I just want to talk a few words about the Remedy Quantum Break game, which is being launched in April this year, because the Remedy has done a lot of mixes with TV, films, gaming, and also this project is a mix. So there will be a 4-part TV series. See the series and you will be able to play the whole game. And Angry Birds, of course, Mikko will tell more about the films coming up, and the Clash of Clans down in the right corner is probably something most of you know, or at least Heyday from Supercell, another hot company today. Tekes, whom I quote over there, is a funding agency in Finland. It's public money, and they have every year put a lot of money on game development and startup companies, and the result is a flourishing business. But let's go back to our business. In Finland, we have a lot of free-to-air channels, more than in the other Nordic countries, so the competition is really harsh on the TV side. Upon this, 20% have also pay for pay TV, and 20% have VODs. If you look at the viewing still, you can see that there are 3 major operators sharing 85% of the viewing. So Yle, I mentioned, the Finnish national broadcasting company that I work for, and then we have the biggest private one, MTV3, owned by Swedish Bonnier, and another big private one is Nelonen, which is number 4, and is owned by Sanoma Pro. Just a little glimpse into the Yle or Yle channels. Nowadays we say Yle, used to say Yle. So you can see something about how we also try for the different channels to have different brandings of the drama. Challenging here means that it really must be complex, hopefully saying something about society, can also be very funny. A little lighter, character-driven drama on TV2, which has been some years ago rebranded for younger audiences. And the third channel producing drama is the Swedish channel Yle 5, which means Yle 5. After this session, you will actually see a drama produced for Yle 5, and think about one expression now, which I will open a bit later. Finnish weird. You have to, when you see it, fantasize, could this be Finnish weird or not? Well, here we are back to the three big companies traditionally producing TV series, and in my company also sometimes TV drama that is one-offs and miniseries. But now, last year, we had a new player, and this is the telecommunication company Elisa Viihde, which I talked with the lady in charge, and she said that from now on they will produce 3 to 4 series per year, and definitely one will be drama. The first clip will be something that Elisa, the telecommunicator, has financed, the first drama they financed together with Yle, but it was premiered and still is running on Elisa, of course, because it's online, still running, and later this autumn it will be shown on Yle. Often I hear the Finnish TV drama, people think it's very dark and very serious, but no, there is a lot of humor in Finland, special humor, and let's look at the downshifters, that could be called a dramedy. Please let it roll. As I said, there is a lot of humor in Finland, and it is maybe also a bit special, because I think there is a nice mix, maybe of Scandinavian, West European thinking, but also of Slavic mentality in Finland. And we laugh very much at ourselves. From this, sorry, there is a mistake. It's 4-part miniseries, Morbid Stories, written by the, in Finland, very famous Tiina Limi, the actor from, one of the main actors from the series Nurses, Psyke in Finnish. She has directed it, and she has written it, and it's directed by Petri Kotvica. She's also one of the leading characters here. And I will show you a clip from the 4th part. There are 3 normal parts, and then there is the 4th part that is a meta part, where the actors and the director play themselves. And you will see how honest they can get. The guy whose head will fill the screen very soon is director Petri Kotvica, very known for his feature films. So in Finland, yes, there is movement between TV and feature producing. And this is produced by Solar Films. Let it roll. And if somebody in the audience happens to know Psyke or Nurses, and you wonder, well, who was Tiina? Of course, you saw her already in her own show, but here she is to the right. And there is some really hot things going on now in the remake market concerning this series, but nothing that say nothing more, I say on stage. But I know there are a lot of discussions in Europe concerning this series. We will come back to remakes later also. Now, talking about hospitals, this is the jump from Nurses. There is also a new sort of hospital series where we are diving maybe a little deeper into ethics than normally. And this is produced by Fisher King for Nelonen. Creators, as you can see, Mikko Oikenen, also known for Nyms and many more. Let it roll, please. Now when you put on some example on screen, I really try to be democratic and have all channels here, and soon you might wonder, what about MTV3, the biggest private channel? But actually, Rena and Mikko, who are soon joining me on stage, they will have examples produced for MTV3. So I will just show here the picture of Look of a Killer to the right, produced by Zodiac, which is Oh, what is happening? Do I move in the wrong direction? Okay, I'll try to move slowly. So, being rights, solved, discussed, negotiated, everything when you have the product there, you will hear more about it, but both with US and Canada, and Tellus co-produced co-produced by Yle Drama and co-produced with Sweden, Norway, and ZFE, doing the international distribution, and again, Border Time, you saw the trailer earlier, and other traveling Finnish noir. And when I say Finnish noir, it is a little bit different than the Nordic noir. I will come back to this, but first introduce the Grand Slam maker from this year. It was Hooked, produced by Mosquito Television for Yle, that took 5 important Venlas, which is direction, writing, the best drama series, and also best main actress and main actor. And when I've been reading international reviews on Finnish noir, it's really interesting because I got, it can be so bleak. How can it be so cold? How can there be such characters who seem unsympathetic, and still it's really hooking, and there is something very special about it. So I think it's not your usual Nordic noir, it's the Finnish noir. Now, you saw already the trailer of the Red Couple, about the really famous Finnish communist couple, love, betrayal, politics, going from underground communists into very famous politicians. But no more about that, because it will be screened at 5:30, starting at 5:30 in Biopalatset. I will talk about another production made by Yle, and it's in process now. So what you will see is not a trailer, but maybe a little, you could call it a mood trailer. And now I come back to gaming, because this is made for a young audience, and it combines fiction with the logics of gaming. There is a reality part mixed with the fiction part, and the reality part is inspired by strategic gaming. Director A.J. Annila, also famous as a film director in Finland. Maybe you know Sauna, you know Jade Soldiers. So once again, film and TV, yes, they get together in Finland. And let's go back now to the late 15th century and check what Axel Tott is doing. Please roll the tape. For those of you who don't speak Scandinavian languages, I have to tell that the dialogue spoken was in Swedish, because this historical event, the persons Axel Tott, Danish, Swedish, at that time Finland was a part of Sweden. So you understand it all goes together. And this is also one thing important for Finland, that we are not afraid to show a diversity of languages. The Finnish youth department producing a drama in Swedish, and we subtitle all our channel subtitles, all world service subtitle. So every co-production playing around in many languages are welcome to talk to Finns. And now there is a little sneak preview of some things happening maybe in the future in Finnish drama at Yle, the Yle fiction or Yle drama fiction in development. We see now coming something that is breaking the boundaries of reality. We are more going into different levels of reality. We are mixing genres. There will be Finnish shamans in Lapland. There will be political crimes in the new political hotspot, the cold Baltic Sea, coming back to our relation to the Baltic countries. And we will look not only west, we will continue looking west, but also north and east and to continents far away. But what is Finnish wear then? I mention it here. It's an expression I start hearing also now in the TV and film world, but actually in Finland it's the authors that have started using it. So they even are turning it to a brand. It means rather fantasy than reality and mixing really bravely genres. Check the website out. My last slide shows you that Finns are really humble persons. Karolina Korhonen has made a lot of nice postcards concerning this theme. And the truth is, really, I think the danger with the world today that everybody is starting doing things that look the same. And everybody wants to maybe follow the best models there is in the world, and this is great, but it's also important to stay different, and I feel very strongly Finland is different, ideas are different, there are really interesting original ideas popping up all the time, and in the end, Finns are fun to work with.
So we have Rena Hoodia from Dionysus Film. And she's the producer of the hit show Klickaa mua, Click Me, that is now being remade here in Sweden by Be Real. And she's also the producer of the feature film called 21 Ways to Ruin a Marriage. And that gathered more than 400,000 people at the box office a couple of years ago. And just to give you a context, if it's more than 100,000 people, it's considered a box office hit in Finland. So welcome, Rena, have a seat. And then last but not least, we have Mikko Pöllä, screenwriter and producer from Helsinki Syndrome, former Mosquito Television. Please come and have a seat. He's the creator of the original Black Widows. We saw the Scandi remake yesterday. He's done many films, series, Easy Living, Hidden Tracks, and of course he's also the guy behind the story of the coming Angry Birds movie. So welcome, Mikko. So here you really have a selection of the best Finns. So was it something you reacted to in Liselot's presentations that you agree or disagree with, or that you're proud of? Or
there were lots of crime series and historical series going on when it comes to the Liselot presentation. And maybe that's one trend, or part of the trend we are having in Finland right now.
Did you have any spontaneous reactions?
Well, I think, just saw the reality of not producing not too much drama. So there are not too many slots for the creators and writers in Finland.
But is it in Finland like everywhere else that there's so many people that want to produce and do stuff, but there's not that many broadcasters and slots?
No, we have less producers than slots. No, of course.
I was like,
Dream.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's the same
It's
as
hard to
everywhere,
break in
yeah.
for sure.
So I think because it was at the end of the presentation, it's really top of mind, this Finnish weird, this concept. Could you tell me do you agree with Liselot that this is something that's going on, and what is it?
Well, when I present my work, my trailers to the people outside of Finland, what I see that they react to the weird characters. That's what I try to push in my work to create something original within like a genre or within a structure, but to create something that is different from everybody else. And I think there is some truth to the Finnish weirdness in a sense. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes it might go too far for foreigners, but it doesn't have to be. It can be seen as, and I've seen it myself, being seen as original.
Do you have a comment?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that because it's quite difficult if you are hiding beyond that okay, we are weird, and that's why our TV drama doesn't travel. So it's like we can be weird, but we can also communicate with people which are similar all over the Europe and even in America, so or Latin America, wherever. So it's more like, taking advantage of that okay, we can have original ideas, but we still speak the same language, which is TV drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it might have something to do with the industry being such a small that, you only need one commissioner at the broadcaster to like what you do, and it allows the creators and writers and producers to sort of cherish their original ideas. It doesn't have to go through 1,000 rounds of notes.
So you mean it might even stay more original that way? in a
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to come back to something that Tatjana said when you talked about your background in Serbia and then you moved to Sweden, because as a Swedish-speaking Finn, I feel I'm like all the time between two cultures. And you said that it's maybe more honest dialogue or whatever. And this was something you are real Finns now, having Finnish as your mother tongue, unlike me. So do you also feel that the Finnish dialogue, that it is, for example, concerning subtext, that it's different than for example, Scandinavian?
Well, to me, it's about the character.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to have different characters.
But how does the character, does he speak like what he thinks, or?
Yeah, maybe sometimes a bit more, but often, there's the concept of Finnish silence also. So sometimes, it's fun to write characters who don't say what they think or say nothing at all.
We were actually joking that we should start the panel with just being quiet and like good talk, because that's the Finnish
Everybody who knows me in this room knows that I'm not quiet one. So but I've been thinking about the dialogue. How come I'm not that interested what people are saying? They are saying things because they are someone in the series, and that's why they have to speak, they have to act, because they have something they want to say. And we as a creators, we have that heart that we want to say something, and those characters just travel for us and say things. So dialogue just come last when it comes to my productions. They will know what they say when they know where they are and who they are. That's how I feel it.
Okay, so maybe you have a little bit of a different perspective on this, or?
He's a writer, I'm a producer.
Yeah.
Well, the dialogue is the last thing I write, of course. There's the story and outline first.
So I thought we should look. We have some examples of both of your work, but you have a upcoming series now called "Living with My Ex." Could you tell us a little bit about the project, and then we'll see, or should we start with the trailer?
Yeah, maybe with the trailer, but we are in the middle of shooting, so we have 40 days left. So it's really work in progress. Yeah.
Okay, let's. I mean, we can stay seated actually. Yeah. Let's roll the first clip. Don't get too comfortable.
So it's a story about one house where 5 ex-couples moved in because they want to be near to their children and have a life of their own. So it's kind of a save and eat the cake at the same time. So you have an apartment where those sliding doors are separated, mother and father, from their children each week. So children don't have to travel and you can have your own space. And
So does this exist for real? Or?
No, it's my soul trauma sister Johanna Vuoksema who have created this
Who also
concept.
wrote 21 Ways.
And Click Me as well.
Yeah.
So this is the next show we are working on.
So marriage, divorce, it seems to be.
Yeah, I was thinking about those fragments Tatjana was talking about, and it's close what Finnish producers are doing right now. We have our own voices. And, we have different kind of producers and, of course, writers, which are very important for us. And everybody is looking the answer for the same question most of their lives. So they have that question and they are just
like
digging
question,
deeper and deeper and seeing that, this is something unique, but this is so universal when it comes to the TV drama.
So we talked, or you mentioned in your presentation about the remakes, and of course we have the Black Widows being remade, and this is a trend in Scandinavia that we remake each other's things. I can actually add that Mäklarna too that we saw, that's based on a Swedish concept, Mäklarna by Bob Film. So this is like going around, but it's kind of a new thing that it's Finnish original series that are being remade, and now there's a lot of them in the making, or at least the remake rights are sold to the other Nordic countries and of course to the world. Why do you think it's happening now? Maybe Mikko, Because you did that.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with our colleagues here in Sweden and Denmark. That started the whole trend, and for people in US, even UK, they don't really know or care if it's Finland or Sweden or Denmark. It's back there.
That region.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, it was already back in 2010, I think, when Easy Living was a success in Finland. We started getting calls from agents and distributors, and
just because it was a local success.
Yeah, because it was a local success, and of course, the concept. They watch a pilot episode, and are like, "Hey, this could work." That, and they can show the numbers. Here's the pilot. It's like a free demo of what they want to do. So, I think the pilot is the most crucial thing that you can have. And then if you have good ratings to support that, then you have that's a nice package.
We actually have trailers of the original Finnish one, and then HBO Europe made one in Hungarian. So we're going to see both of those trailers. Maybe you want to introduce the clips somehow.
Well, yeah, it's Easy Living. That was aired in 2009. The first season we did 3 seasons, which is massive in Finland. That's
and
one.
Which channel broadcaster was it?
MTV3.
Yeah.
I think one special quality in Finnish TV is that you don't often get many seasons because there's so limited number of slots. So the broadcasters, they want to see new stuff. So 3 seasons is huge for us. So you'll see a crappy online resolution version of the Finnish one, and then a fresh remake by HBO Europe that was aired just at the end of last year. So sometimes it takes a long time.
That's like
for these to happen.
6 years. Okay, and should we just watch the Finnish one and the Hungarian one?
Sure.
Like this. Okay, you can roll the clip back then. Carl, sorry.
So that's about a family that has the perfect appearance, but in reality they commit crimes, and the parents have always thought that the daughter and son, they know nothing about what the parents really do, but the kids grow up and the son adopts the criminal lifestyle, and that's sort of a downfall of the perfect family.
And this was long before you saw Breaking Bad, which is so great.
Yeah. I us Finns and I think many of us have sort of we like to believe that we are honest and good people, but I sort of for a long time before starting to write this, I felt that maybe even us Finns are not always as honest and great people as we like to think. And then I read an article in a newspaper about there was a house almost by the sea, but between the sea and the house there was a public park. But one silent summer night, someone chopped down all the trees in the public park. Now that this house had a sea view, but they couldn't prove that it was the guy living in the house because it was done in secret. And I thought that's I want to tell stories about that family living in that house that could do such a thing.
Okay, it's interesting inspiration. So, as Liselott pointed out with the girl who won the gaming competition, it's actually there's a tradition of a lot of women working in the industry, film, TV, gaming. So, as strong women. Is this something that is like just taken for granted, or is this something that needs to be worked on? We always talk about this like quotas and I mean, as a woman working in the industry, how does it work?
When I started as a producer 20 years ago, I was most of the meetings I was the only woman. Nowadays I can have a meeting with 8 women at the same room, and they are leading women. Things are changing, but it's. I have a company and I have just women working there, but it's not a chose between men and women, I've taken the best ones out of the market. They are working for me, so I'm lucky for that. But we still have work to do. Of course we do. Well, we have this kind of feeling that, okay, we all are unique, but united, but it's not the whole picture.
Yeah, we once had a discussion many years ago about this with the Finnish branch deciders or decision makers, and many of them were women. And one thing that they said concerning this thing is that what we both do need are better main characters that are women. And I was thinking about it now when I saw my noir pictures, that you could see Hooked, there is a female main character, and then there is Intellus, female main character. So, but it's not yet there, but it's coming also on the content side very strongly. I also had a discussion with a female director in a big company, because of course there are a lot of men in these companies, that how is it being a female director? And she said that the only problem is that they started the sauna tradition, and then she doesn't know what they talk. Because mixed sauna is not that common in Finland as people think.
No.
So, but otherwise, she felt okay.
It's actually more common in Germany, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Did you want to say?
Well, yeah, I have a theory that sometimes male writers are maybe afraid to create outrageous, like fault female characters, because I don't know why, but I try to push also the female characters to make them be out of line and do stupid stuff, and not to pamper them because they are female characters. And I think that's been very successful thinking.
So I know this does not actually have anything to do with TV drama, but since you are on stage, I have to ask you about the Angry Birds movie. Because Angry Birds, of course, is a company. It's Rovio that is making the game huge. It's kind of like the new Nokia, because Nokia was sold off. And there's been talk about this movie for a really long time, but now it's finally coming. What was your part of it?
Well, yeah, they when Rovio started to think about creating a franchise out of the game. They had seen some of my work, and they called me if I would like to join and create the characters and the world and the setting. Of course, in the original game, it's just like round balls, clashing. So I went in, and it was pretty much the first things we did was pretty much like creating a Bible for a TV show. What is this about? Who are the characters? What are their personalities? It's just animation. Not that different, and then a bit later, the movie project started to surface, or there was a lot of interest towards the movie from different studios and so on, and basically it was me, the CEO at the time, Mikael Head, and the producer John Cohen, who produced the Despicable Me movie, for example. We had a Skype call, I think it was 2012, a Skype call every night, just talking about the story, and we wrote basically the outline for the movie together, and then John Vitti, Simpsons, Family Guy, The Office writer, he wrote the screenplay based on our story.
Okay.
And now it's going to be in theaters in May.
In May, yeah.
And it's going to be funny.
Have you seen the finished product?
I've seen multiple versions of it, and I hope that people are going to be surprised how funny and good it is.
Okay, we look forward to that. I think it's rolling out all over the world.
Yeah.
So I have one last question. We in Finland, at least, maybe this is not so known about Finns, but Finns kind of seem to thrive from an underdog perspective.
In ice hockey often.
Yeah, I think there's one.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Well, but there
In
is
old
one
days.
ice hockey game when Sweden
But
was
the young
leading
ones.
3-0 and Finland won anyway or something like that. So now, if Finnish drama is really starting to be successful, how will it go if Finns are not in an underdog position anymore?
I think it's more like generation thing. You know, there used to be a generation who really enjoyed to be underdogs in a way that, okay, nobody loves, we always losers when it comes to ice hockey or song contest, whatever. And I think that one is changing.
And we have won World Championships, mind you, a Swedish trainer when we won the first time, but anyway, and we have won the European Song Contest. So, I mean, we are not that underdog anymore anyway.
No. Things are coming strongly.
Yeah. And also in the education, I feel everywhere really strong, good energy for TV series. Talking film schools and other media schools now really diving into how to teach serious drama writing and so on, and workshops, writers' room coming like in the UK, also in Finland, and even we are planning, if the financing is in place, there will be a really big Helsinki script convention next autumn for the whole branch. So I think there are really good energy now in Finland.
Yeah, and you know, it can be a very good thing because everybody is looking for content. What has happened to the feature films? In Finland, sometimes you see that most of the Finnish films are adaptations from the book or something, some brand, or mostly books. In TV world, we still have a guts to follow the original ideas, and everybody is looking after them because it's so hard to find a good one. And that's why I think we have a purpose to be in this field, to fill that gap that you know our ideas can be as valued as others because it's a tough job to do.
So, just one last thing. You were you said that next year it's going to be the centennial, the century for Finland's independence, and yesterday here we talked about the Unknown Soldier and the TV series that's being made from that, and they even started a company called Suomi 2017 for that. And I know there's so many things happening because of the anniversary, the party next year. Will this somehow be seen in the TV world in other ways? Do you know if there's other kind of projects going on?
I have to say I'm not interested about war anymore. I want to
No, it
talk about
doesn't.
That's why count me out from this.
No, I was just wondering, like, maybe there's some slots on Yle that you're like, yeah, we have to celebrate this, we want to do it in drama form, I don't know.
Yes, and in different genres, and it's not only history. Being 100 years old also means then you are really grown up, and you look at, so what is the country today? So you saw the history part, and of course that's important, but there were a lot of things that you will hear more about next year here in Gothenburg.
Okay, perfect way to end the discussion. So much thank you for coming here, Mikko, Rena and Liisala.